Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 2016 Central Valley Kickoff. It's great to have you all here for our wonderful 2016 season here in Central California. My name is Michael Adam, the director for Central Valley Robotics. I'm going to be walking us through a bunch of season region stuff this morning, and we will then break to our kickoff sessions this morning. First, I wanted to thank all of you for coming out here today and being coaches this season. You know, we here at Central Valley Robotics can put on the events, can put on all of that, but it's really the coaches that are on the ground with the kids helping make it happen. So thank you all for spending the time making that happen, and we're looking forward to working with you guys for a fantastic season. Wanted to do a little bit of a status update for everyone so we all know where we're at. Right now, we have about 48 teams registered in the region. We're hoping to bring that up to over 100 by the time the end of September comes. We are the new registration system from FIRST, which I think many of you have already interacted with. For those who are returning from last year, know that it's quite different, and there's some things to work through and some other things, and so we're hoping to get all these pending and returning teams through to bring us up to our registration capacities this season. For our First League Junior program, it opened a couple weeks ago, and we're currently sitting about 21 teams in the system, so that's pretty cool for where we are right there. In terms of stuff from Central Valley Robotics, I wanted to just do a round of staff introductions because we've had some new staff join us and some role shifts. I'm just going to kind of go through our little line of people over here. So Callie Carbajal has taken on our role as our regional judge advisor and judging coordinator this year, transitioned into that role. So she'll be running all the judging stuff this afternoon. Gary is our volunteer coordinator. He's going to be helping with some of the audio stuff. We've got Shahe Daharatunian, kind of a all-around kind of help guy. He's also learning our video editing stuff, and he's actually the one who helped cut together all of last year's qualifying footage, which will be going up later this month. Better late than never, but we're glad to finally get it out, and that'll be a cool resource for you guys to watch and see how events go. We have Danielle Karanko. She is our new outreach coordinator, and she is also the one who helped coordinate this event today, so I'd like to give a round of applause to Danielle. She did a lot of work getting all the the speakers and all that together, so it's really great to have her. Stephen Brown, technology coordinator, helps me with Team Connect and also with all the live stream and other things. We have Shantanu Banerjee. He is running First League Junior. He's taking charge on our First League Junior coordination right now, and he'll be running the sessions in the band room today. We have Judy Bauer, who is, I think, in the other room, working on some kits for our grant program. She's helping with our grant program and some other things. Is that everybody? Oh, the person who's in India right now. Dimple Riveri has also joined as our kind of team support coordinator, taking over for Callie last year. Kind of Danny and Dimple are kind of a combo item that they work really well together, and they're great friends. And I got them both, so it's really cool to help out with CVR this year. And then we had later this afternoon, Phil Castillo will be here, and he's our regional head referee. And he'll be running the deep dive and helping with the afternoon competition. Going into Team Connect support for this year, we are introducing it for First League Junior, so both First League and First League Junior will use the same system. There was some confusion last year on to where do we go for First League Junior. So we brought that, and we'll have some more event stuff for Team Connect this year, which will be really cool, and there'll be more information about that as we get into September. I wanted to congratulate the 3 First League and 1 First League Junior team that got accepted into our grant program this year. I think one of our coaches picked up their materials and said they couldn't make it today, but it's really cool that we got these 3 teams into our grant program. We'll be reopening the First League Junior grant program later in September to kind of be on a rolling basis throughout the rest of the First League Junior season. So if you know anyone who'd like to apply for that, it'll be on our website. So welcome to the 2016 First League season and First League Junior season. For this, we've got Creature CRAZE for First League Junior and Animal Allies for First League. In Creature CRAZE this year, teams are going to be working and looking at honeybees, investigating their habitats, and then look at an animal that exists in the same habitat with honeybees and investigate how they work together, and they're going to wrap all that up into a Lego model and a show me poster and present that at an expo. They're going to be guided through this by Elisa, the honeybee. She's going to be guiding teams on this journey, teaching them about how honeybees work in their habitats, and she's going to be doing this with the new materials from First Lego League Junior for this season, including the engineering notebook and the team meeting guide. This creates kind of a turnkey solution for First Lego League Junior, which is really exciting. Every kid gets an engineering notebook, the coach gets a team meeting guide, and with that, it walks them through 12 sessions that go from starting your team all the way down to habitats, working with the Lego model and the We Do set, and then making a show me poster and preparing it for an expo. So no experience is necessary for First Lego League Junior now. You can and the materials come printed from First. The registration fee you pay, you get the notebooks, everything delivered, and you're ready to go. We're also working to grow this program a lot in our area. We're pushing it so that it has the same type of support that we do for First Lego League. All of our veteran coaches know the season standards manual, improving our team resources, creating a network of expo partners and expo standards to make sure we have a standardized event and a really cool opportunity for our younger kids in the program. Moving on to First Lego League, kids are going to be working on animal interactions with humans. Because animals sometimes help humans and sometimes humans help animals. How can we make those interactions and relationships better? In the project, teams are going to be identifying a problem where people and animals interact, developing a solution for that, sharing that solution with others in the community, wrapping all three of those up, identify, design, and share, into a presentation that's presented to judges at a qualifying and championship event. So this is going to be a really cool season for all of you who have seen the board. There's a lot of cute animals and a lot of cool stuff happening. The project should really get kids out there, and it should be really cool. So moving on to some season changes. This year, First is moving to 2 World Championships. This means that there are now twice as many World Festival slots for First Lego League. So we found out kind of a week before everyone else did that Central California gets 2 this year. So we are advancing 2, our first and second place Champions Award winning team from the Central California Championship in January to the World Festival in Houston. That's really exciting. We were lucky to get 1 every other year. We got 2 this year, and we should be getting at least 1 going forward. We're also kind of excited to announce that our third place Champions Award winning team will also have an advancement to one of the Open Championships in the United States. So that means if you win first, second, or third at the championship in January, you have a chance to move on to somewhere else. That's really cool for our region, and we're really excited. So it's just I'm really excited. And I hope you guys are too. Want to jump into some advancement kind of season changes for First Lego League. We've got a lot of stuff changing this year. We are participating in a pilot, which dictates how our teams advance from qualifiers to championship. For all of our teams last year, we had a floating kind of hurdle percentage based on the amount of teams that are advancing and everything. That's now fixed at 75 based on the amount of teams that were expected to show up that day. So, for example, at an 24-team event, there's 24 teams registered. It would remain 18. You have to be 18 or higher to be eligible to be considered for advancement from that event. And what's new is coming this idea of a judge's choice, where judges can choose one team based on a different set of criteria from the normal advancement criteria. Callie's going to be talking about this more in her session, the intro to judging session. And you can also learn more at gocvr.org/FLLAP. And that link will be available, and these slides will be available, so you'll be able to find that link after as well. The Global Innovation Award we are bringing to our qualifiers this year. In last year, it was only at our championship, so you had to advance the championship to be eligible for the Global Innovation Award nomination. We're changing that to allow all teams to be eligible for the nomination. But first, what is the Global Innovation Award? In First Lego League, we encourage kids to design innovative solutions. First Lego League partnered with the X Prize Foundation to create a separate award from the standard FLL model It's through a regional process and a national process where teams can ultimately win a grand prize of $20,000, with 2 runner-ups winning a $5,000 prize. It's a really cool program. We're promoting it a lot more this year, and this new process we got approved for this year, and effectively we are bringing a nomination to the qualifying level that kind of acts as a separate advancement to championship, and at the championship, teams will participate in a 4th judging session for the Global Innovation Award directly. Again, Callie's going to be talking about this more in her presentation in here right after the keynote. For all of our First League coaches, you know that there were some new materials available this year, the challenge guide and the challenge document. They split the manual up to create a nice 4-page overview, which is what everyone received at check-in, that folded flyer. It's a nice overview. It's 4 pages. It's really short and sweet, but all of the really important details are in the challenge guide. It's a much longer read. Everyone, I encourage you, I implore you, I plead with you to read that document and learn everything that's going on in there. It is very important to read it, and you will not be surprised come event day on why is this rule here? It's in the challenge guide. It's not in the challenge document. So please read the challenge document, both of these. They have a lot of information. The challenge guide also has resources, links to project information, full details on rules, and a lot of other things that are definitely worth the read. So at our 2016 events this year for both First League and First League Junior, this season encourages teams to interact with animals and develop solutions that interact with animals. We're asking that teams do not present their solutions live at events this year, meaning don't bring animals to events. There's a lot of issues with that. There's kids who have allergies. There's kids who might have some phobias, and we just don't want to have any of that interaction. Definitely don't want to, no venomous animals, please. Some of our events might have a petting zoo, for those who know what event I'm talking about. That will still be here, but that's under the control of experts who know how to work with those animals, and it's in a contained area. We just definitely don't want animals in the pits. The exception is the ADA service animals, because those are the legal definition, and those are protections in place for those. We have the season standards manual got updated on Tuesday with more information on that. For all of you who saw, there were day 1 challenge updates available for us this year that kind of talked about what animals are allowed in the season, expectations for teams. Callie's going to talk about more in the judging session, but do pay attention to the challenge updates. They update on a kind of a random rolling basis based on the questions first gets. They're posted no later than 3 o'clock Eastern, noon here on a Friday, but it's definitely worth to keep on top of those, especially as we get into event season. And as a reminder for those kind of who attended championship, and for those that didn't attend championship this year, we removed the team flags kind of outright from what CVR is providing. We do leave it as an option for teams to make, because I know it's kind of a very cool team identity, a rallying point for the team to make a flag. In our season standards manual, we have a short, kind of very easy $10 flag if you guys wanted to make one for your kids. But kids are more than welcome to go crazy, make it fancy, make it awesome, and then keep it and return it and reuse it every year. So into kind of some events and deadlines. Probably should mute the mic. For our 2016 events this year, we have 6 First League qualifiers. Very awesome. We're introducing Fresno State this year. They're still working on some venue stuff, and the date might shift. So this is kind of how things we're looking at the end of the month. The Visalia qualifier got renamed to the Ridgeview Raptor Rumble as well. So we're looking, hopefully these events will stay. We should have them all fully locked in by the end of September before event registration opens. These dates are on our website as well. For First League Junior, the expos that we have right now, we're working on more. The expos we have confirmed are the January 28th expo that runs concurrently at the championship for First League, and then the Fresno County Office of Education is hosting an expo and on April 1st with some more dates to be determined, and we'll get that posted as we know more. So for First League, important dates and deadlines that are coming up that I want to make everyone aware of. October 4th is the big one. Team paperwork is due. That's in our region, team paperwork is your ticket to event registration. So getting your paperwork in will open your slot, allow you to register when event registration opens to make sure you get the event you want. You can still submit and register after October 4th. That's just when the registration opens. On the 21st was when we pull team names and coaches from Team Connect. So that's when they freeze for the season. We won't be able to make any more badges after that point, so it's important to get all your coach paperwork in by that time. 28th is when fees are due to partners. You'll get information on where to send and how to do that when you register for your event. As you saw on the other slide, the 19th, the 3rd, and the 10th and 17th are our qualifying events right now. The judging profiles are due the Wednesday prior to each event, so if you're attending the 19th, they're due the 16th. More information about the judging profile is in the Season Standards Manual, which I'll talk about in a bit. December 22nd is our championship registration deadline, which you'll notice gives you 5 days after the December 17th event to turn around and confirm registration for the championship. We just need to make sure we get everyone in as soon as possible so we can start going to waitlist teams as soon as possible. So it's definitely important to be aware of those dates. For those that make it to championship, 18th is a cutoff for a lot of information, and then the 28th is our regional championship for First Lego League. All of these dates are in the Season Standards Manual in a table in one of the early sections in the manual. I wanted to encourage everyone to volunteer at our events. We often say the best way to learn the program is from the other side of the table, the judging table at least. It's coaches, coordinators, parents are all welcome to volunteer at our events, definitely at events for which your kids are not attending. And it's we definitely encourage it. A lot of people, coaches, have come back and go, was an amazing experience. It definitely showed me how the other side works. And it's definitely an interesting thing to do because the judging deliberations process is pretty much a closed door affair and not much comes out of it other than the award winners. So it's really cool to sit in that process and understand how it works. It's one thing to read it in the manual, it's another thing to kind of live it. More information is available on our website. We're also looking for people who are interested in potentially taking even higher role as some of our key volunteer roles. Very satisfying, high energy roles as the keys on the event site. The judge advisor runs all judging, the head referee runs the tables, and our pit administrator kind of runs all the pits. We have a lot of information more on our website about this. If you're interested, don't hesitate to email us. Wanted to kind of announce our coach seminars for First Lego League this year. We're changing it a little bit. We want to better utilize our resources and bring it to a larger audience. So we're holding the first one in person as we've done in prior years. All the remaining ones will be conference calls and digital sessions through webinars or something online to allow everyone around the valley to participate. We're hoping to live stream the first coach seminar, but we'll definitely record it and we'll go from there. Our dates here, these will get posted on our website next week. We haven't posted them yet because we're waiting for the venue confirmation for our September 27th. We're hoping to hold it here on this campus, or at Buchanan rather, and we'll see. We're still waiting for the confirmation there. Our first one will be the 27th, then we have the 25th and the 15th. We'll see if the December 6th is needed. For those attending the championship, the 24th is a very important date. We do not hold a final coaches meeting the morning of the championship because there is no time. We don't want to make that day any longer. And so we do hold the final coaches meeting for any clarifications and stuff a couple days prior to the championship. Additionally, as I mentioned, the Season Standards Manual is kind of our challenge guide for stuff we do here in the area. I implore you, I plead to read that one as well. It's kind of sad, and for us when we read survey comments and the coaches they say things like, well, we didn't know about this. Where's a checklist? It's in this manual. It's posted on our website. In this manual, there's a coach's checklist that details all the stuff you need to bring for an event day. It talks about how our practice tables work, how our judging sessions work. Everything is definitely an important read, and I encourage everyone to read it. Additionally, we have a new kind of resources section on our website this year. We completely revamped it to hopefully make it better for everyone. It's FLS/resources, but if you just hover over the First Lego League banner and click View All Resources, you'll be able to see it. During my online tools workshop today, I'm going to go over all this too and show you where everything is. We're going to be introducing a kind of new way to request mentors from high school teams to kind of make it more efficient. That will be kind of available next week on our website. And if you don't want to wait until then, we have a couple teams out here at lunch today that you can network with and request mentors directly. But we will be introducing the stuff. It'll be available on our website next week. And for those that are very interested in, want to know the basics and what's the expectations, how to get started, we do have our online orientation meeting that we put up at the beginning of June. It's still available. It's a half hour, but there's a lot of content in there. We made it, and we hope that it really helps you guys with any questions you have. So with that kind of covers my keynote out of the way. Let's talk about how our kickoff's going to work today. So for we have 9 kind of sessions here this morning in 3 tracks. First LEGO League Junior is held in the band room, which is through this door in the back right-hand corner where Steven's walking. And there's that sign right there, and it'll take you down that hall. Restrooms are also available down that same hallway, in addition to on the north side of the gymnasium. First LEGO League Track 1 is in the gymnasium as well, which will be our panel sessions, which are our coaches, Q&A with veteran coaches, our project experts panel. Actually, this picture is not accurate. I just noticed that. The first 2 sessions have flipped. The paper you have in your flyer is accurate. In here, we're going to have our Callie's judging deep dive, our online tools workshop. The EV3 demo will be in here, and then the robot game deep dive will be in the gymnasium. We have our lunch break with Locavoria coming out this year. Again, they joined us last year, and we really, really enjoyed their food, and they're coming back. They're also going to be donating a portion of the proceeds to Central Valley Robotics, so please do eat with them. They have really great food. This is their kind of menu. The full details on the menu are in the flyer that was given to you. Again, as mentioned in the flyer, there are vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free options available upon request, depending on each individual's diet. Just ask, talk to them. They're willing to shift whatever they're making. They even can make stuff that's not on this menu to help fulfill everyone's needs and diets to make sure we feed everyone. Again, I mentioned the FRC row that's coming out. We have a couple high school teams to allow you to network. It'll be outside the NPR. We're going to have kind of a networking area for lunch. Should be very, very nice weather today. And then after lunch, we have the Buchanan Bird Brains with their mock competition. They're calling it the first LEGO League in 5 days. They've spent the last 5 days after Global Challenge release trying to build a robot to compete on the table. And they're going to have a mock competition this afternoon, so you'll get to see how many points these kids have been able to acquire in 5 days, what missions they've been able to do. Should be a fun little mock competition to show everyone how the process works on event day. And everyone are welcome to attend, not just coaches. So if you have kids that want to come in this afternoon and join us, they're more than welcome to. And we are hoping for it to be very awesome. We did this 2 years ago. We're bringing it back this year. Should be very cool. I'm really excited to see what these kids have done. So with that kind of concludes my keynote. I want to thank you all for joining us here this morning. There are refreshments available in the back. Feel free to take whatever you want. We have waters, fruit, some pastry still left over there. And again, band room for First LEGO League Junior, track 1 in here for First LEGO League, and then the gymnasium, which is right across the way out here, the big building, for our other sessions. So thank you all, and our first sessions will begin at 9:10 in about 15 minutes. Thank you so much.